Intro to microbiology. Microorganisms have existed on Earth for about 3.5 billion years. They gave rise to multicellular organisms like plants, animals, and fungus. There's certain characteristics of living things that one must exhibit in order to be considered living. You must be able to maintain homeostasis. You must be able to reproduce. You must be made up of cellular organization. You must be able to use energy through metabolism. And you must contain genetic information, either DNA or RNA. Throughout this year, we'll talk about lots of different types of microbes, or microorganisms. Viruses, which aren't living, bacteria, protozoa, algae, fungus, and multicellular parasites. A microbiologist is a scientist who studies these microorganisms. There are 3 different ways that we can be exposed to microbes. Either ingestion, which means you ate it or drank it. Injection, which means it gets injected through a needle. Or inhalation, which means that you breathe it in through your nose or your mouth. Microbes vary by size. Eukaryotes are going to be the biggest, then prokaryotes, like bacteria, and lastly viruses are the smallest. In order to see microorganisms, we must use a microscope. There's several different types and we'll go through them later. This one right here that you see is a compound light microscope. We have these in our lab. Microorganisms are extremely diverse. Some are good, some are bad, and some are neutral. Microorganisms are essential to all life on Earth. For example, bacteria perform nitrogen fixation in the soil in order to make the unusable nitrogen gas in the atmosphere usable to the plants. Once the plants have the nitrogen, that's how the animals, and therefore us, that's how we get our nitrogen as well. Photosynthetic microbes are responsible for the majority of oxygen production on Earth. Microbes decompose dead organic matter, returning the essential nutrients back to the Earth. Microbes help herbivores digest cellulose by living in their guts. Microbes clean sewage and wastewater. And microbes live in your gut as well and help us digest food and create vitamins. Microbes are used in food making. We use yeast to make bread rise. Yeast is a microorganism that's a fungus. We use yeast to ferment beer and wine. We use probiotics, which are good bacteria, to ferment milk products like cheese, yogurt, and buttermilk. Microbes are also used in bioremediation, which is where we use bacteria to clean up dangerous organic chemicals like DDT and oil spills. And we use microbes to make products like antibiotics, amino acids, insecticides, ethanol, insulin, and vaccines. As scientists, we name microbes just like any other organism. We use the binomial nomenclature system, which is the 2-part name made up of the genus and the species. The genus is capitalized, and the species name is not capitalized. Both words are either italicized or underlined. For example, Streptococcus pneumoniae. So Streptococcus is the genus, pneumoniae is the species. Remember in classification from biology, we have first the domains. So the domains are actually up here above kingdom. And we have 3 major domains. Then you have your kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. Do you remember ever coming up with a mnemonic to help you remember those in order? Like, kids play cards on fat green stools. Kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species.